Hello guys, thank you for tuning in to our video today. My name is Anthony and I do take this chance to welcome you to our session today. We're still continuing with our series whereby we are focusing on institutions and systems in government, and today we want to look at the third arm of the government, which is the judiciary. And I do hope that you will find our video informative and you will gain a bit of knowledge. Okay, so the judiciary is the third arm of the government, and the primary function of the judiciary is to solve disputes. Okay, disputes between individuals, disputes between citizens, dispute between entities, organizations, departments, so just disputes within the territory of Kenya. And the judiciary is consists of judges, or is made up of judges. It's made up of magistrates, and it's made up of other judicial officers. Okay, so the composition is judges, magistrates, and other judicial officers, and the head of the judiciary is the Chief Justice. Okay, and in the judiciary we have two levels or two tiers of court, or there's a court system divided into a two-tier system. So we have the upper level and we have the lower level. So the upper level consists of three courts, with the highest being the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, which is headed by the Chief Justice of the land. And beneath that, there's what we call the Court of Appeal, the appellate court. So the appellate court is made up of judges, okay, and there's a president who is elected by the judges that are within that court. And then there's the high court. Okay, so the most highest, or the highest court in Kenya is the Supreme Court, headed by the Chief Justice and a panel of other judges. I think they're either 5 or 7, I'm not sure, but I'll confirm. But they should total to around either 5 or 7. But the Chief Justice is the head of that court, and then there's the Court of Appeal, and then the High Court. So these are called the superior courts of the land. Then beneath that we have the subordinate courts, and the subordinate courts, some of them are the magistrate courts, the Qadhi's court, which is headed by a chief Qadhi, and then there's the court martial, which is deals with issues to do with the disciplined forces, and then you have the small claims court, and then you have local tribunals. So all these are under the subordinate courts. So having understood that, what is the function, or what are the functions of the judiciary in Kenya? So number one, it interprets the application of laws in Kenya. So we have laws that are in the constitution, they have been prescribed, but because not everyone is a legal scholar, we need an interpretation of the laws so that we can all be on the same page. So it is the judiciary who is mandated with the task of interpreting the application of laws, okay? Because we have laws in the constitution. Having laws is one thing, knowing how to apply them is another thing. So the judiciary helps us to know how to apply the laws that are in the constitution, okay? Then number two, adjudicating in both criminal and civil court cases. So they come in as an arbitrator, okay? They come in as an arbitrator between two parties that are in a dispute. So this could either be a criminal case or a civil case. Civil cases mostly are between individuals, and they are not severe enough to constitute a criminal offense, because a criminal offense is when you break the law against the state. So a criminal case mostly is when the state is the one that is taking you to court. So it is the state against a person. But a civil case, this is just between two individuals. So there's a dispute that is happening. And then number 3, it's settling disputes between parties or institutions in the political structure. So there are different kind of cases that are different in nature. Things of one election nature, disputed polls. So these are usually handled by a designate department within the judiciary. Okay, so they handle political disputes. Then there's the protection of constitutional rights and freedom of individuals. So if you've been in Kenya, you've noted of late we've been having the executive going against the constitution a lot, and the judiciary has become the last stop or the last point of defense for Kenyans, because when someone breaks the law, regardless of your status, you can be in government, you can be a normal ordinary citizen like me and you, but as long as you're going against the constitution, the judiciary has the mandate to protect it. So it protects the constitutional rights and freedoms that are guaranteed to every individual who is a citizen of this nation. And then the next point is they collect fines imposed on those found guilty of various offenses by the court. So yes, they do impose fines, or they do oversee that process of collection of fines, whereby someone has broken a certain law, and that offense comes with a certain fine that needs to be paid. So they're the ones who implement that fine to be paid by the person who has broken the particular law. Then they administer swearing in of senior government officials. If you have been to any of the swearing in ceremonies for maybe the president, the governors, the elected officials, there is usually a member present from the judiciary. This is because they act as witnesses that what you are oathing yourself to, that you will maintain. So that when you break that oath, there was a member present from the judiciary who was a witness to the oath that you gave. So they oversee swearing in of senior government officials. So that's basically it. When it comes to the judiciary, they are an oversight of the Constitution of Kenya. They make sure the laws are implemented and they apply equally to all citizens of a nation. They are the last stop whereby citizens can run to when they feel their rights are being infringed. And if you have any dispute as a citizen of the republic, you run to the courts and they'll be able to help you. So there is what we call the rule of law, and there is the concept that applies to the rule of law, which I think is very important for us to know. All Kenyans are governed by the same laws, irrespective of their status, of their color, or of their religion. So the laws of Kenya apply equally and fairly to all. That's what should be. Okay, they should apply irrespective of your color, your status, your religion. They should apply seamlessly and non-discriminatory. Okay, non-discriminatory to each and every person who is a citizen of Kenya. Then no person is above the law. Okay, matters pertaining to the law can only be dealt with according to what the law prescribes. So every one of us sits under the law. The law is superior to any one individual, regardless of the position that you carry. Even if you're the president of the land, we all are under the law. A person is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So that is the concept of the rule of law. A person is presumed innocent unless convicted guilty or proven guilty in a court of law. That's why you're given the fair chance to defend yourself whenever you're accused, because there's a possibility that it could be malicious or a false application. Therefore, we are all presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Then there is what we call the concept of natural justice. Okay, and this applies to each one of us, and it gives us the provision that a suspect should be treated fairly by the courts, and the following precepts should be upheld. Okay, so the court should be fair. The fact that you have been brought in as an accused person does not mean condemnation outrightly. You are supposed to be treated fairly by the court, given a chance to defend yourself, given a chance to prove your case, and at the end of the day, let the evidence speak. So there are certain precepts that should be greatly upheld or are greatly upheld by the courts, which is the accused person is given the right to a fair trial. So one of the principles of the court is that people who come before the court should be presented. So even the accused person is supposed to be given the right to a fair trial. Then the next point is suspected persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So no one has a right to accuse or to deem one guilty until the point that they have been proven guilty by the process of determination by the evidence that is brought before the court of law. Okay, so this concept usually discourages mob justice, because mob justice has a blind application of justice without the investigation of evidence. So we need to look at the evidence. We need for someone, a judge, to go through the evidence and to determine the weight of the accusations that are brought forth. Failure to that, then an accurate judgment cannot be made. Therefore, the reason why this principle exists is that it can discourage the application of mob justice. And all accused people or persons is entitled to legal representation. As long as you're brought before a court of law, you're entitled to a lawyer, you're entitled to legal representation so that you can have a fair trial. And a suspect is given an opportunity to defend him or herself in a court of law, and even to call witness. So you have a right to defend yourself, you have a right to call witness to come and vouch for you, you have a right to share your case, to give your side of the story, to defend yourself. It is unfair if you're taken to court and you're denied the opportunity for representation, you're denied the opportunity to defend yourself, and you're even denied the opportunity to call witness who can corroborate your story. And lastly, all judicial decisions are based on law. Okay, so we don't base decisions that concern the law on hearsay or emotions or how the mood is. No, the application, the judgments, the decisions of the law are based solely on the law. That's why we follow the Constitution. We look at the different sections of the Constitution, and we look at what applies, what has been broken, and we follow the remedy that has been prescribed in the Constitution. So it is the legal document that upholds the judgments and the decisions that are made. It directs the actions, the sentences, and the outcomes of every judicial process. So I do hope that this has made sense to one or two of you, or some of you, or all of you out there. You can take your time, go look further into the judiciary. This was just a drive-by to just give you an idea of the judiciary, but you can take your time, delve deeper, and I will see you again for the next episode. Okay, so this is me signing off. I hope to see you in our next episode as we continue this series. So cheers, till next time. My name is Anthony.